Today, by popular request, we're diving into the world of BoJack Horseman, a groundbreaking animated series that's not afraid to tackle the darkest corners of life with a blend of humor and heart. BoJack Horseman follows the life of its titular character, voiced by Will Arnett, a washed-up 90s sitcom star who happens to be a horse, as he navigates his way through Hollywood's, or Hollywoo's, highs and lows. Over its 6-season run, the show has become very well known for its sharp satire, complex characters, and unflinching exploration of themes like addiction, mental health, and of course, identity. Today we'll be focusing on 3 characters in particular, whose inclusion in the show shed a light on and helped foster an understanding of asexuality. First, we have to start by talking about Todd Chavez, voiced by Aaron Paul. He's not your typical sidekick. Todd starts off as BoJack's couch-surfing roommate, but quickly becomes a fan favorite for his quirky antics and infectious optimism. Todd's always inventing things that never quite work out, embarking on all sorts of wild business ventures, and his eccentric sense of humor keeps the show's tone light even in its darkest moments. His friendships with characters like BoJack, BoJack's manager, Princess Caroline, and another former sitcom star, Mr. Peanut Butter, are central to the series, evolving from comedic mishaps to genuinely touching moments of support and growth. He also has some important romantic relationships throughout the series. Emily, who he's known since high school and re-enters his life, and 2 additional characters we'll be discussing later in this video named Yolanda and Maude. What really sets Todd apart is his journey with his sexuality. Initially portrayed as straight, Todd later discovers he's asexual, a revelation that's handled with sensitivity and depth throughout the show. In the 2nd episode of Season 3, Todd's sexual identity becomes more of a focal point in his story, when it's revealed that he's both a virgin and has never been kissed. 10 episodes later, Todd and Emily are dating, but on the subject of sex, Todd says, "I'm not gay. I mean, I don't think I am. But I don't think I'm straight either. I don't know what I am. I think I might be nothing." Emily responds with acceptance, saying, "That's okay." For me, this scene really hit home. Before I discovered asexuality, I thought I was broken, defective, nothing. I personally remember knowing even in high school that I wasn't straight, but I didn't talk to anyone about it because I didn't know what I was. I didn't have that word until I was 28 years old, and unlike Todd, I didn't have the confidence to talk about it until I found out I wasn't alone. A key moment comes in the next season, when in the 3rd episode of Season 4, Todd comes out as asexual, telling BoJack, "I think I'm asexual." After a bit of banter back and forth, Todd continues by nervously saying, "I'm sure you think that's weird." BoJack responds, "No, are you kidding? That's amazing." Then Todd says, "It actually feels nice to finally say it out loud. I'm an asexual person. I am asexual." Todd having that moment and support from BoJack was incredibly powerful, not just for Todd himself, but for a lot of us. I remember the first time I told someone, and granted I hadn't seen BoJack Horseman prior to that conversation, thankfully it went well. But I remember having that, "I'm sure you think that's weird," nervousness in my gut. But my friend that day told me that she loves me, that she supports me, and while she didn't know what asexual meant, she was willing to learn with me. That was an incredible feeling, and she's made good on that promise. That same episode sees Todd attend an asexual meetup. This is another powerful inclusion in his story to me. Finding my own Aspec support group helped me to learn and accept myself better. I was able to connect with people in a way I'd never done before. Giving Todd that same opportunity means he could begin to do the same. As Todd navigates his own identity and purpose, he grows from a directionless slacker into someone who finds confidence and meaning in unexpected places. As the show progresses, so do Todd's responsibility, self-worth, and maturity. While he journeys through learning about his sexual identity, he's also on a journey to find his path vocationally. He moves from various projects, working with BoJack, with Mr. Peanut Butter, and with other characters throughout the show. He eventually finds grounding in becoming a live-in nanny for Princess Caroline, leading him towards a future career path. By the end of the series, he's also able to repair his fractured relationship with his mother, who had thrown him out years earlier for his video game addiction and lack of direction in life. For many in the ace community, Todd's story was groundbreaking. He became a symbol of authentic representation, showing that asexuality is just one part of a person's identity, not the defining trait. But he wouldn't be the only ace character the show would introduce. Enter Yolanda Buenaventura, voiced by Natalie Morales. Introduced in Season 4 as an agent of the Better Business Bureau, Yolanda is assigned to Todd when he begins his latest venture, a clown dentistry business. Like Todd, Yolanda is asexual, and her being an axolotl is also no coincidence either, since axolotls are famously asexual themselves, sort of serving as a nod to the asexual community itself, since axolotls are also one of a handful of symbols in the ace community. Yolanda's dry humor and disliking of Todd's slacker mentality and goofy behavior make them an interesting pair. They are in some ways a good reminder that asexuality can present itself many different ways and isn't this confined box that someone has to fit in or a checklist of personality traits that they have to possess. Not only is Todd a stark contrast for her, but so is Yolanda's family. Her mother is an adult film star, her father writes some very spicy novels, and her twin sister is the author of a sex advice column. Yolanda's relationship with her family resonates with myself and probably a great number of aces, surrounded by allonormativity. While it may not necessarily come from our families, some may experience it from their friends, or their workplace, or fandoms and communities that they're a part of. Her relationship with Todd also disproves the common belief that asexuals should just date other asexuals. Todd and Yolanda break up at the end of Season 5, noting that the only thing they had in common is asexuality. Relationships are far more complex than that. Even though many of us are told that this is our best option by those who don't understand that the layers of a relationship go far deeper than sexual attraction. Todd is visited by Emily again at the end of Season 5, where they discuss their recent breakups. When Todd says the reason for his breakup with Yolanda, Emily shows him a dating app that she created for asexuals called All About That Ace. She tells Todd that it was actually his idea, and Todd becomes the first member. Finally, we reach Season 6 and are introduced to a new character named Maude. Maude is a barista at the Cinnabunny, where she takes BoJack's order. During one of their interactions, Maude is on the phone with her mother, describing a business idea for what she calls Cinnabungalow, so people don't have to leave their homes to come to Cinnabunny. During their discussion, Maude becomes annoyed with her mom and tells her she's not dating anymore. Later, BoJack witnesses Maude having an argument with a guy that she dated. The argument seemed to be about why she wouldn't have sex with him. The guy is confused as to why she went out with him in the first place and keeps asking if it's a Jesus thing. After he leaves, Maude insists to BoJack that it isn't a religion thing for her. BoJack believes her and says he doesn't want to make any assumptions, but he recommends that she try using Emily's dating app, All About That Ace, where she eventually matches with Todd. The two begin dating shortly after. Maude is a much better fit for Todd, with much more in common with him than just being asexual. Like Todd, Maude is very outgoing, kind, loving, and a bit naive. She also has plenty of ideas she wants to pursue, like her idea for Cinnabungalow. Despite this, she's also a great influence on Todd, being the gentle nudge that he needed. She is a bit more mature than Todd and suggests that maybe it's time he no longer rely on sleeping on other people's couches. He moves out of his position as Princess Caroline's live-in nanny and moves into a new apartment with Maude. Still hoping to build on his experience watching Ruthie at Princess Caroline's, Todd and Maude pitched the idea of establishing a daycare at Princess Caroline's agency. Maude's inclusion in the show further educates viewers on asexuality by showing a healthy asexual relationship is possible. And even better, her voice actor, Echo Gillette, is asexual in real life. BoJack Horseman isn't just another animated series. Among the many ways it stands out, it's a pioneer in asexual representation. Todd Chavez, Yolanda, Maude, they're all a part of this larger narrative that's breaking boundaries and offering new perspectives on identity and relationships. It's no wonder this show has such a dedicated following. Let me know in the comments what you thought, and if there are any other shows or characters that you'd like me to cover. And while you're at it, tell me your favorite Todd quote if you have one. Mine is, "I do love getting my picture taken. It's proof I exist." And we're glad you exist too, Todd. We're glad you helped prove asexuality exists too. Thanks for joining me on this journey through asexuality and BoJack Horseman. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more Arrow and Ace content.